Hello. For this brief segment, I will explain to you in more detail the Taoist concept or practice of Wu Wei. This term is usually translated as non-action or no action. Sometimes when students read this term of non-action, they may interpret this as really meaning that we do not act or do anything at all. However, the idea of non-action can be misleading, and I will show you how it works in real life. In Chapter 2 of the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu first uses this term Wu Wei in relationship to the sage. It states, "The sage person deals with his/her affairs with non-action." This is reiterated in the following lines: "The sage person acts but does not take credit. The sage person achieves merit but does not dwell in that success." For Lao Tzu, Wu Wei is the fundamental principle of the entire Tao Te Ching. But how can we explain Wu Wei or non-action? The best way to explain this term is to give you a visual demonstration. To do this, I need to draw your attention to Chapter 8, which is sometimes given the title Water. In Chapter 8, it states, "Water is good. It benefits the 10,000 things, but it does not compete. Instead, it dwells in what people often dislike, and therefore the water is almost equal to Tao. Thus the water lies in low places, and its function enables it to be good in the earth and with humanity. Additionally, it manages any situation with harmony." Water adapts itself to all places. It adapts itself to all shapes. Therefore, we should be like water to practice Wu Wei. We should adapt ourselves to all situations without intent or desire. Let me demonstrate. See here how the water will conform to each shape of each cup. See that it does not fight or compete with the different shapes, but rather it adapts itself. It has no intent, but nonetheless it does act without any personal desire. How does this apply to our current postmodern lives? In our everyday life experiences, we are often confronted with difficult situations. We then want to fight them. Additionally, we have goals and aspirations of success, but we find that in our strong intent or anger or competitiveness, we lose our ability to adapt and we are frustrated. But if we conform ourselves and go with the flow of nature, we see that Tao follows the harmony and balance of nature, and we act in accordance with Tao like the water. We may be more successful in practicing non-action. You may well ask, but I have goals to be a successful person, to get my degree, have a good career, and be a good provider for my loved ones. How can I achieve these goals and purposes without real action? The answer from the Taoist perspective is that of course you must do those actions of being a good student, having a career, and being a good provider, but act without desire, without intent. Practice these actions without attachment to the outcome. Be like the water and do not compete or fight, but rather manage your affairs with sincerity and kindness. Choose the right time to perform your actions, and when you do act, do it without contention or struggle. If you are like the water, you will be in harmony with all things and be closest to Tao.